So this is going to be my site for agroforestry, the syntropic system. And what I really like about this part, the reason I chose this space, is because we've already got somewhat of a windbreak, and I've been planting this fence line with some hardy windbreak species: mesquite, Osage orange, Anaqua. Anaqua is a productive element as well, but it's a great understory, and it's surviving in this area. There's one underneath that Chinaberry right there. Chinaberry would also be a great fast-growing support species, which can be coppiced really easily and really efficiently. It grows amazingly with coppice. Goats love it. And yeah, so this is just a video of my windbreak here. And I'm trying to fill in all these gaps with all the species that are working here. So there's lote bush, mesquite, prickly pear, like shit that nobody wants on their system, on their land. Look at this. This is a great one. It's not a live oak. That is I always forget the name. I'll think of it. But yeah, soapberry, pigeon pea understory. This one's growing out in the open. How about that shit? Yeah, pigeonberry. That's going to be a dominant understory. Ground cover, along with, hopefully this stuff. This is great. I love this. You can see here, it's not mowed. This area has not been mowed for a couple of years, and we're having the mesquite come up, the chinaberry, the soapberry. So it's actually happening on its own. It'd be very easy. Once you let this grass grow up, you can then mow it before it all dries out. Leave the rows unmowed, sweep it over, and make rows of mulch. Easier than carting a bunch of wood chips out here, which I may do in the first, when I get some wood chips, I might do that once I mow, like throw some wood chips out here. And there's already some fairly established trees that are going to act as a windbreak. There we go, hackberry. And I've already come and pruned, which honestly, I just wanted the biomass on the ground for some of this, give it some prune. But what that does, it allows me to plant more underneath these trees. But ideally, it's for a windbreak effect, it'd be like something like this, very thick. So, of course, this is going to be oriented north to south. Whoa. And see, this is lote bush. Is that? No. It might be, whatever. There's thorns on all this shit. But that's okay. It's okay. We're just gonna not continue to encourage the thorny stuff, except for the windbreak. And most people, quite frequently, I saw this on a farm out yonder, right along this property line, they sprayed Roundup all the way along one of their fence rows that was a really good windbreak, and they fucking killed all of it. And it was all a bunch of, Palo Verde and mesquite, but it was doing good work for their crops as a windbreak. And they just completely destroyed it. Just because, I guess they're just ignorant. But having a windbreak like this, it adds habitat, it adds water infiltration, humidity, seed bank, yield. Again, habitat is not just good for the animals, it's good for you. Because if you have bobwhite, if you have rabbits, possums, if you're into that, you can hunt those things and eat them. And it's a yield and it's fun. And you get prickly you can plant thornless cactus out there, and it's all food. The mesquite is food too. This is food right here. Look at that, it's ready. It just came right off. Hear that pop? And that's what the mesquite's gonna look like once it's all grown. It gets tall, still shallow shade, it's not too shady for anything to grow underneath it. It's a great emergent or canopy. And it just lives for a long, long, long time. Long time, and it provides a lot of benefit, a lot of nitrogen fixation. This one, Bumelia, that's what it's called, Bumelia. Native, looks like a live oak, but it's not. What it does, it has these little berries that birds love. So you encourage the birds to come in here, and they're going to start bringing, all their seeds. All the seeds in their poop, the fertilization. You bring that habitat, you bring the animals in, and you create higher diversity. Shit just starts popping up on its own. And it's a great system. But what you can do is you can go and mow these rows, sweep it over, and then kickstart that. Plant a whole bunch of diversity of fruit trees and support species. Maybe not as hardy as the mesquite if you can get away with it. Something less thorny like leucaena or moringa or something like that. Without the thorns, China berry is a great support species. Something that grows fast, produces that biomass. But I strongly encourage working with the native ecology because it's so resilient. It's doing so much work for you. It provides yields quicker, and you just have to have the understanding, know where to look for all that. Look, these grasshoppers all over the place, that's a yield. It's not really happening in America very much, but you can eat those. You cook them up. Fresh grasshopper. Every time I come out here and I don't see a rabbit to shoot, I think, well, shit, might have to start chewing on these grasshoppers. Because otherwise, I'm not going to have any protein in my dinner. Yeah, look, this is a great area of windbreak. See, this is where the animals all walk. They come through here, poop out their seeds, and it's a positive feedback loop where the more of this ugly, thorny shit grows, the more delicate things will occur. There's a little bird. Oh, sorry about my camera quality. There goes the dog, scared away. You see these little birds, they love to hang out in this windbreak. It's the only forest in this whole big field. It's the only complexification event happening around here. And what you can do is you can start taking these trees and knock down the biomass, create the conditions for habitat, for a great deal of beneficial animals, like this rat snake here. Look at this. Look at this guy. It's a wild rat snake, just chilling with me. Gonna let him go again. Catch a bunch of rats. There's more little birds along the fence line right there. Same one, maybe. Little tiny things. But these. Oh, look, he's over next to my dog. There he goes. Little tiny thing. It's really important to encourage the birds to come onto your system and allow that biodiversity that they bring with them. Here's a nest underneath the chinaberry, and with it we have the next support species in the time sequence and the understory. This is sandpaper tree, a nakwa. Prolific, delicious berries. And chinaberry is such a great support species. We just take down this and tuck it in as mulch to benefit our desired species. Look at here. Pigeonberry. And this little bit of shade under this support tree has allowed this inaqua and this hackberry to grow. Where out in the open out there, there's just nothing like that happening.